Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk about the different types of blockchain currently available. Before starting, I would like to quickly introduce myself. I'm Amrisha Kakoti and I'm working as a software engineer at Kpro Solutions Private Limited. Kpro is a leading provider in Datalake, cloud implementations, IoT, blockchain, analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence, deep learning, and mobile application development. So without any further ado, let's get started with today's video. So in the previous video, that is the part 1 of this types of blockchain, we talked about what are the different types of blockchain available, what do you mean by the public blockchain, its advantages and disadvantages, and where can we use the public blockchain. We also talked about what is the consortium or the federated blockchain, its advantages, and where can we use the consortium blockchain. So in this part 2 of this video, I'll be talking about what is the private blockchain, its advantages, where can we use the private blockchain, can we consider this private blockchain as a shared database, what are some of the challenges faced by the private blockchains, difference among private, public, and consortium blockchain, why do we need different types of blockchain? And finally, who are some of the industry giants who are currently using or exploring the blockchain technology? So let us start with what is this private blockchain. So this is what the private blockchain network looks like. So there is a single validator node and these are the member nodes. So as the name suggests, in private blockchain, data will not be available to the public. Hence, the access is fully restricted. Here, only a single entity or an enterprise has control over the entire network. So here you can see, only this validator node will have control over this entire blockchain network. So these nodes cannot join the network, that are the member nodes cannot join the network unless they are invited by this validator node or the single privileged entity. Also, only this validator node or the privileged entity can take part in the consensus process. Thus, in true sense, it cannot be called decentralized, but only secure distributed ledger. So these type of blockchains are considered by the companies that are interested in the blockchain technology, but at the same time, they also have to hide data from the public. So since there is just one validator node, hence this kind of blockchain is faster than the other two types of blockchain, that is the public and the consortium blockchain. So this is basically what the private blockchain is. Next, let us see some of the advantages of using a private blockchain. So if need arises, the company that is running this private blockchain can easily change the rules, revert transactions, modify balances, etc. So here the modifications are allowed. Since the validators are already known, hence the risk of attack on the network does not apply here. Now we have seen that the validation is done by only the privileged node, hence cheaper transactions. So these are some of the advantages of using this private blockchain. Next, let us see where can we use this private blockchain. So in case of most of the companies, the transactions they perform are private information. So there is simply no way they can make the data public. So in this case, this private blockchain can be used. So here, when the business partners or related entities transact among themselves, they do not have to maintain a separate ledger as every transaction will be recorded instantaneously like any other blockchain. So this is where we can use the private blockchain. Next, let us see if we can consider this private blockchain as a shared database. So this private blockchain and the shared database might look the same, but it is not entirely true. Although the functioning of both may look the same, so there are differences between this private blockchain and the shared database. So there are advantages of using this private blockchain over the shared database. So this private blockchain make use of the power of cryptography, whereas shared databases do not. These private blockchains provide higher level of error checking and transaction validation than the shared databases. And the shared databases are also prone to malicious activities. So when a single participating entity gets compromised, the entire database gets compromised. So the private blockchains overcome this problem by using cryptography and technologies similar to what the public blockchain use. Thus, we cannot say that private blockchain is same as the shared database. Next, let us see what are some of the challenges faced by the private blockchain. So these private blockchains require different institutions to come in agreement with each other and agree to a common set of rules. So this becomes challenging as different institutions have different requirements. Also, challenge arises when it comes to decide who should have the power to add or remove members and make other important decisions. So these are some of the challenges faced by the private blockchain. Next, let us see what are the differences among the public consortium and private blockchain. So based on the access, anyone can access the public blockchain. Multiple selected organization can access the consortium blockchain, and a single selected organization can access the private blockchain. Based on participants, public blockchain is permissionless and anonymous. That is, anyone can take part in the blockchain. In consortium, permissioned known entities. So only the known entities can take part in the consortium blockchain. Again, in the private blockchain, only the known entities can take part in the private blockchain. So based on the security, in the public blockchain, consensus mechanism is applied, where all the nodes take part in the consensus mechanism. In case of consortium blockchain, only the pre-approved participants take part in the consortium blockchain. And in case of private blockchain, only that pre-approved centralized node can take part in the consensus. Next, based on the network type, public blockchains are decentralized and distributed. Consortium blockchains are partially decentralized and distributed. And the private blockchains are centralized and distributed. Based on speed, public blockchain is comparatively slower than the other two, that is consortium and private is the fastest. Based on read access, so the public blockchain, anyone can access, everyone has the read access. In case of consortium, only either both the pre-approved validator node and the member nodes can have the read access, or only the pre-approved validator node. And in case of private, only the pre-approved validator node has the read access. So these are some of the differences among the public consortium and private blockchain. Now here if you see this regarding this private blockchain, so only the owner group can view the blockchain, and only the owner group can validate the blockchain. So in case of consortium, anyone can view the blockchain and only the validated users can validate it. And in case of public, anyone can view and anyone can validate. Next, let us see why do we need different types of blockchain. So we no longer need to be dependent on huge servers. They are cost effective and fast. They also reduce the need for central trusted third parties. Also, the redundant work is reduced, and fast consensus among interested parties, even though they are geographically distributed all over the network. So these are the reasons why do we need different types of blockchain. Next, let us see the industry giants that are currently using or exploring the blockchain technology. So the industry giants that I have mentioned here, so the first one among them is JP Morgan Chase and Company. So since contributing the blockchain platform Quorum to the open source community, a number of developers have expressed their interest on this technology. The next one is the Bank of America. So this Bank of America is one of the most prolific patentees of blockchain technology and is now working to automate the process of creating letters of credit using Ethereum blockchain. The next is Wells Fargo and Company. So this being an early member of the distributed ledger consortium R3, this bank is now helping build a simpler way to track securitized mortgages. The next one is Microsoft. So Microsoft was among the first to monetize blockchain services and now works with a number of blockchains via its Azure platform. The next one is Apple. So Apple filed a patent for using blockchain technology to timestamp data. The next one is Toyota Motor Corporation. So it is a founding member of the Blockchain Mobility Consortium and is now exploring how blockchain payments could enable self-driving cars. The next one is Samsung Electronics Company. So it announced its Next Ledger platform last year for tracking global supply chains. The next one is Amazon. So it offers cloud integrations for a number of blockchains and recently partnered with Ethereum startup Consensus. The next one is Walmart. So since an early prototype to use Hyperledger Fabric on the pork supply chain, it has expanded its blockchain work to other supply chains also. The next one is Daimler. So since last year, issuing 100 million euros corporate bond using Ethereum, the maker of Mercedes-Benz has begun testing its own cryptocurrency. The next one is Nestle. So Nestle is now a part of the consortium working with IBM to remove unnecessary middlemen from the way they ship goods. And the next one is IBM. So IBM has open sourced the Hyperledger Fabric and is a driving force behind multiple blockchain initiatives. So these were some of the industry giants that are currently using or exploring the blockchain technology. Now let us have a quick recap of the topics that we have covered in this video. So in the beginning we saw what are these private blockchains. Then we saw what are the advantages of using the private blockchain. Then we saw where can we use the private blockchain. Then we talked about if we can consider this private blockchain as a shared database. Then we saw some of the challenges faced by the private blockchain. Then we saw the differences among the public consortium and private blockchain. Then we saw why do we need different types of blockchain. And at last we saw some of the industry giants that are currently using or exploring the blockchain technology. Thank you for watching this video. In the next video, I'll be talking about the key concepts of blockchain that will include the topics, some key terms in blockchain, how does a transaction happen in blockchain, which will include cryptographic hash function, public key cryptography, digital signatures, peer-to-peer network, block and miners, nonce and proof of work, blocks data, that is the transaction list, and the mining reward. Kindly provide your valuable feedback in the comment section below and let us know of any topic you want us to make a video of or any issue you might be facing in your project. You may write to us at feedback@kpro.co.in. Thank you very much. Let's keep learning.